good evening, and welcome to today's episode of Life Choices. I want us to discuss the topic defining and developing moral code. That's your guidance for your entire life. I am happy what we've learned so far, but today I want us to actually focus on this. Your moral code. It can also be called your value system or your set of values that determines the goals and the direction of your life, helps to guide or determine your choices or the decisions and actions that you take. The truth is that in this life, most of the mistakes that we make is because we are not able to rightly define values. And so when you don't define things correctly, you make mistake. I want to give you an instance. When you define things well, it will help you to identify. Definition helps identification and recognition. Let me give you an example of what we call definition. You know water and the acid resemble. Definition is what help you to distinguish and identify the two of them and know which one is of value for consumption. That's if you are thirsty. Then you know the one that is of value for any other purpose. Like I say, in life, nothing is outrightly good, nothing is outrightly bad. It depends on your understanding. That's, like I always say, the philosophy that is the base which helps you to rightly define things. So following the philosophy of system, which is what I'm proposing, since is what we have been learning, is philosophy of system. Everything we have been learning is under the philosophy of system, so that you can help to really define things. Now, coming to the example I was giving, you know water and acid, they look alike, but with definition, it will help you to recognize which one is water. For instance, you can say water, boiling point of water is 90 degrees centigrade, but boiling point of acid is so and so degrees centigrade. When you put water under so and so condition, it changes color, but when you put acid, it doesn't change color. When you do this one, you understand? These are everything that helps us to define. So we can say, if you want to now define, say water is a soluble thing that is 90 degrees centigrade boiling point with so and so this thing. Then you say acid is a white substance this thing that is so and so this. Are you getting me? I'm just trying to give you, there are many traits that you use to define when you are defining something, so that you can differentiate them. Because if you don't define it, let me now give you the danger. You can see water, you can see swan water, and it's acid that is inside. If you are not able to rightly define it and know that this one is what are they calling it, is acid or is not water, somebody can carry it and drink. And the thing about this life, reality is already definite, like I told you. That's what we believe in the philosophy of system, that things are already definite. You can't change it. So acid is what it is. If you like, give it a wrong definition or interpretation. If you drink acid, I swear, the thing will as in rupture. Are you getting me? So that's how it is in life. Because we are not able to rightly define values, we take in things that are not of value to our life and use it to direct our choices, and eventually we make the wrong choices and destroy our life. So now I'm going to teach you how to define and develop your values, your moral code, so that you can be able to identify what is of value to your life and make the best choices. Stay tuned. So the other time, I emphasized the fact that there are 4 major factors that is fundamental in helping you identify or determine what is of value to you as an individual. But today I'm going to go closer to make it more practical to you. I'll try to use 2 examples. For instance, if I'm going to use myself as an example, my nature, my unique nature, for instance, is that I'm creative. I'm giving you an example. I'm somebody that is imaginative, I'm creative, and what I want to do is that I want to write. So creative abilities, or the creative trait I have, is what helps me to be able to write. I could write imaginative fiction, soulful write-up, powerful motivational quotes, and many of all the write-ups, write books, write articles, write publication, write TV content, write scripts, write stories. Are you getting me? Write any of all these things. And every of these write-ups that I write is what people read and they are healed. Some people read it and they are inspired. Some people read it and it helps their business to grow. Some people read it and it helps to project their brand well. Some people read the write-ups and, do you understand, they get different values from every of the things I write. Now the point, because I know that I am a creative person, I need an environment that will enhance that creativity so that I can continue to write. And then if I continue to write, every other people in the system, do you understand, will now get the value from this my write-up that will make them to respect me, to love me, to reward me, and do you understand, and also help them to be able to facilitate their own work, their own function in the system. Are you getting me? So the value of a creative and imaginative person, number 1, is a serene atmosphere. So I can say that one of my values as an individual is serenity. I'm sure you are getting that. If I want to define my moral code, I can say that one of my values is what? Serenity. It means that for me to maintain that my creative ability, that my imaginative ability, that if it is maintained and enhanced, I will be able to write and write effectively such that when somebody reads it, he is touched or he is inspired, or it depends on the kind of write-up, or is motivated to take an action, or it can steer a revolution. You know, some people have done write-ups that have steered revolution. Some write-ups, they call it sales copy. Some write-up is for television news. Some write-up is for scripts. Are you getting me? Depending on how well you write, determines how the people that are acting will understand the story and be able to act well. So are you getting me? Everything is connected. That's what I'm talking about, the philosophy of system. So it is critical that you rightly define your values. So if I understand that my value is serenity, it will guide my decisions. So if I want to make decision now based on the understanding that one of my values is serenity or peace, if I want to choose a friend, I'm going to choose somebody too that values serenity. Somebody that values the same thing that me too I value, so that I'm not forcing him to need serenity to be who he is. Are you getting me? Remember when I was telling you about the human values, that individualism is crucial. You should recognize the individuality in people and help them to be themselves. Don't force them to change from themselves so that they can suit you. No, let people be themselves. So just look for somebody that also loves peace. Maybe the person is not creative, but he also needs peace or serene environment for his own unique nature to be enhanced. enhance towards doing his work so that he can achieve his purpose. Are you getting me? So that's the criteria. Excuse me. So it's that simple. I'm a creative person. For my creativity to be enhanced and effective, I need a serene environment. Another thing, I'm somebody that can talk, but for me to be able to talk effectively and my talk is inspiring, I need appreciation. I'm giving you what we call values. So I value appreciation. So if you want me to talk at my best, if you want that my unique nature of a soothing kind of talk that can motivate, that can inspire, that can heal, what you should give to me, that's the kind of environment you should create for me. What should be in that environment is an environment of appreciation. If I'm in an environment where I'm appreciated, my speech is always solemn, is edifying. Have you seen I've identified two values? So number one, I said serenity. Number two, I said what? Appreciation. Are you getting me? So it depends on your unique nature. When you have identify what are the unique properties. In science, you people call it properties. If you know what are the properties of so and so thing, then you will know the things that should be in the environment that will propel or enhance it to maintain that unique nature, enhance its performance, that's functionality, towards the purpose it was designed for. That is the simple definition of values. So if I'm going to define values in this context are what helps or enhances or propels the effective practice of the virtues. Sorry that it looks like I'm speaking too much grammar. Effective practice of your virtues towards achieving your purpose is very important. So you will have virtues. Virtues is the good things you're supposed to do. Like I said, writing well. Virtue is to write something that can inspire somebody, something good. Do you understand? Creative writing is a skill or a virtue. The traits or the unique thing is that you're a creative person or you're an imaginative person. So the values that will not enhance, propel the practice of creativity. Do you understand? Thank you. Creativity is the virtue. So what it needs in the environment, what a creative person values is serenity. Are you getting the point? So look at your life. Check yourself. You must have made very, very big and costly mistakes in the friends you choose, the books you read, the television stations you choose to watch, the events you choose to attend, the programs you choose to attend, the church you choose to worship, the music you choose to listen to, and every of these things, what you should look out for is the values. Like me, I value nature too. Anytime I'm in a natural atmosphere, let me say like beach, let me say like where there are trees and all that, it propels my creative abilities. Are you getting me? So another of my values is nature. I'm sure you are getting points now, yes. So another of my values is nature. So I love nature, not because of its own sake, but because it helps that my innate ability, that my potential, that my unique nature to be enhanced, so that it can propel me to act in line with it and produce the value that other people too, upon which their own survival and happiness depends on. Remember I told you that the world, the universe is like a system. Everybody is have his unique place and role in this system, and which are all interdependent. It means that the functionality of one depends on the value he gets from another. So the other people in life, they are waiting for you, they are waiting for me to give the value upon which their own functionality depends on. And it starts from we being able to identify and rightly define the values upon which who we are, our survival, our personality, our unique nature as an individual depends and thrives on. You have an assignment today. Think through. Make a promise that from today I'll take time to identify the things that make me unique and the values that propels or enhances my optimal functionality, my performance, what inspires my performance, what gingers or makes me to perform at my best with the least effort. Those are the things that you value. You must never compromise it to suit anybody, to make anybody happy. You must be selfish about it. That's why one thing about me, I try as much as I can. Anytime I'm in an environment, quite unfortunately, my house is not in the environment I like. The time I was in school, there's this wall sticker that we used to put in our rooms. If you know what I bought the one that there's waterfall. There's waterfall there, and you see trees and birds flying. It shows you what I value. Each time I look around and I see the environment, it enhances my thinking. And the kind of music I play, I usually play Celine Dion. Why do I play it? Because our songs are calm, they are peaceful. The value I get from it is peace. So the peace and soulfulness of the songs inspires my creativity. It now helps me to be able to write or to be able to speak such that it can have a positive impact on other people. At this point, we have come to the end of tonight's episode of Life Choices. Stay tuned with us next session for another delightful episode of Life Choices. Night.